Our Black Excellence Spotlight of the week. And it's a very heavy week.
Our Black Excellence Spotlight for the week is Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey Hussle.
If you haven't heard by now, he is a rapper who died last Sunday, March 31st.
I'll be honest with you. When Shani first said to me, "You heard Nipsey Hussle got shot?" I said, "Who?" I didn't know who Nipsey Hussle was. I didn't know who he was at all. I knew Nipsey Russell, the lion from The Wiz.
You didn't know that. Don't lie to the people.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that either. But I knew that. I said, that's true.
Don't be lying to the people.
Okay, all right. What I said was, is that in like a 70s movie or something?
You didn't say that till later.
Did. I know. I said this is like a 70s movie or something.
Why are you getting so loud?
I did, because I did. That was loud too. Whatever the case is, I didn't know who the hell Nipsey Hussle was. I didn't know who he was. I think you had just found out about him, a day before?
It was like literally 2 days probably before, because he was featured in GQ magazine with Lauren London, and I thought it was really sweet because I'm all about black love.
What was really crazy about this whole situation, and the reason why we're putting a spotlight on Nipsey Hussle, is that he did a lot for the community.
He did.
And over the past week, I've just been watching videos and just learning about this guy. I even listened to his album just to get an idea of who he is, who he was. And it's just like, seriously? Like, right. This is the guy you're going to kill? Seriously? Where hatred can take you is a real scary thing. And for us to lose a guy like Nipsey Hussle is a huge loss. And I only hope that, like, I think the other day there was like a gang unity peace walk. That peace walk right. that they did. I think that was really cool. And I hope that it's not just a flash in the pan thing. It's not just something that happened that one day. I hope that it's something that can be a seed for something. I hope that he died for a cause.
Right. Well, I think, listen, his life, he only lived for 33 years, unfortunately, but his life, like, he lived a very fulfilling life. Like, if you look back on what he's done, he started a STEM center for people who live, or youth that lived in Crenshaw, so that they could compete with people in Silicon Valley. So he was starting that initiative. He also had a space for entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs that lived in the Crenshaw area, where they can go and kind of just meet and have a space to hold their business meetings and also, like, be around like-minded individuals.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, when you're in that environment, if you can get a place to go to that is an oasis, that is fostering and nurturing of your abilities and your desires and your dreams and all that, mm-hmm. and you find other people who are also doing that,
right?
That's like, that, for some people, that's all they need.
Right.
For some people, that's all they need.
And I'm going to go ahead and say that people who have lived a rough life and come from that gang mentality, like, they have a lot of business sense. Like, it's not used in the greatest way most times, but they have a lot more business sense than people who went to business school or are in those suits. Oh, yeah. Making business deals and stuff.
They get buy low, sell high mad early.
Yeah. Right.
Like Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I feel like there's so many different Jay-Z's in the hood.
Right.
Jay-Z just didn't stop. He just kept on going. And
right.
he had something in him, that drive that a lot of people didn't have.
And I'm not sure if the story is real or not, but he had a clothing store in a mall strip, like by Slauson, I think it's Slauson and Crenshaw. He bought that mall strip. Like, he was into real estate. Like, he was into making himself more wealthy so that he can help people in his community. And I think that was the basis for why he did what he did. And it showed through. Like, so much so that they're planning on having his memorial service at Staples Center, because it's not enough room.
That's
like,
crazy.
no place has enough room to have that memorial, like, with the likes of Michael Jackson having his memorial service there as well. So, like, it just goes to show, like, when you have a vision for your life, wherever you come from, whether it be a gang or whether you have a rough start, like, just having a vision for your community can make you go places.
And another thing, too, is, like, he dropped how many albums? like one.
I think he dropped one album.
No, he had another. He had the Marathon album before Victory Lap. But I think, and they had mixtapes before that.
Yeah, he had mixtapes. Yeah.
But the Victory Lap is the one album that's like, oh, who is Nipsey Hussle? Like, that's the guy. But his music is not why people are like loving him like that.
Right.
It's the stuff he did in the community.
Right.
And for me, that's a huge, huge lesson for me, because it's just like sometimes as an artist, you get lost in, oh, my art will change the world. Right. And yeah, it could change a couple of hearts. You know what I mean? It can make somebody feel good for the moment. It makes, it can inspire a thought. And that is all true. But it's like nothing compares to the good you put in the world.
Right. With
like actual active things that you put into people's hearts and minds.
Right.
Like the guy had a store for like a simple needs store, like underwear and deodorant and water and t-shirts and things like that, just so people can get those simple things that they can't afford. And like he was talking about the hierarchy of needs, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and we all know what that is, but it's like the bottom level of that pyramid is just your physiological needs, your air, your water, your food. And a lot of people in these neighborhoods
just don't have that.
Yeah, like that's difficult.
So to think about like somebody else's needs and you don't have the simple basic necessities of food and water and a place to stay, like how can you request that of somebody? And I think people that are higher up don't really get that.
Yeah.
They don't understand that. And I, to a certain extent, don't understand it, because I can look at the news and say, how can somebody kill this person and rob this person? I'm not really thinking about their backstory and, where they come from and why they did what they did,
Yeah.
And I think Nipsey came from that, and he still lived in it. So he was able to kind of understand it and bring it to another level so that other people can understand it. Because his interviews, it was all about like love and peace, but also helping us to understand that gang side of the life that he was living or had lived.
Which is interesting to me, because like I think we were talking about this yesterday when we were talking about like what kind of person can create real change in a bad neighborhood,
right?
In a black bad neighborhood, and Nipsey is the perfect person to do that. Because if it's like Jay-Z can do it, but Jay-Z's been out of touch for a good 15, 20 years.
Right.
Like Jay-Z's been living in the castle for like, you know what I mean? Like Jay-Z still knows about it, he still talks like it, but he's married to Beyonce.
Right.
Like he's mad out of the loop right now. So he can go back and he can do that, but he's gonna come from it from a different mindset, because literally half his life he's been a different person.
Right.
Nipsey was just there.
Yeah.
Nipsey still's a crib. He still be putting up gang. Like he can probably do C-Walk better. Like he's still in it.
Right.
And he still looks like it. When you look at him, you're just like, oh, that dude has killed many people.
Like at his Marathon store, he had convicted felons that were trying to make a life for themselves working in the store. Like just on that level alone, because it's hard to get a job when you come out of jail. Like nobody wants to hire you, especially with like all those tattoos on your face.
I mean, even just the check box, like, are you
right?
Do you have a criminal past?
Right.
If you have a felony, like, how do you get a job outside of McDonald's? Like, if even that. So for him to be able to give people jobs that need it, and are just out of prison, who made a mistake, who did something dark in their past, and now they're coming out and it's like, yo, I want to do good, but I can easily go back and do something bad. Oh, but Nipsey got me.
Right.
Like, that is huge. That is so huge. Yeah. And I feel like to take that away is real, like, you're not thinking about anything but yourself. Of course. Right. Like, when you're killing somebody, that's what you're doing. The good I take from this, or I hope and I pray comes from this, is that somebody picks up the slack. Right. Somebody who
is from that world.
Is either from that world or can be trusted. Picks up the slack. I think Nick Cannon said he's still going to do the documentary.
He's going to still do the documentary, but he ain't from that life.
He ain't from that life. I mean, I don't really know Nick Cannon's story, to be honest. I don't think he's from that life.
And then like in some of his interviews, he just drops like jewels, like talking about gangs and how originally they were for the betterment of the community. Like, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Like, I actually grew up in a neighborhood that was gang infested, I guess you can say. But I didn't know. The only thing I knew about gangs was that they were bad and I shouldn't get involved and that I shouldn't even speak to them.
And this is one thing that he said in his interviews, like you're saying, that like when you're in the hood like that, all you can offer is like heart. All you can offer is heart, your heart to other people.
The world said we was wrong, but the set embraced you for who you was. You know what I mean? And that's the allure of gangbanging. In the gang is that you might have been broke. Your mama might have been on drugs. You might have not had, the material success, but the gang don't judge you on that. The gang judge you on your heart. You know what I'm saying? If you got heart, we gonna embrace you and we love you. And that's the only requirement. And so a lot of young people, that's all they had to offer. You know what I mean? They didn't have none of the qualities that made the world value you.
I mean, it's a sad week, man.
It is sad.
It's a sad week, and it really sucks to see someone like that go.
People love him all over the world. Like I saw an Instagram post. One of my friends posted. She's in England, and they had like a Nipsey Hussle shrine kind of thing.
For real. Man, I feel really dumb. I did not know this guy.
Yeah.
I feel really. I don't pay attention to hip hop people like that much. If you're not J. Cole, Drake, or Kendrick, I really don't pay attention. But I feel really dumb. I did not know this guy.
Yeah. Even though he died, his legacy is going to live on forever. That what he was trying to do, people are going to hopefully, even myself, like I can see I got to do better just as a person because I came from better than what he...
So what is it you learned from Nipsey? That's what you learned from Nipsey? Like what can you take from it going forward?
A lot. I mean, like he was grassroots.
Mm-hmm.
Like grassroots. And I think just his heart and showing that, okay, I want to do this for my community. It's not necessarily about making money. It's not necessarily about, having that fame. But if I'm going to have those things, I'm going to use it to inspire.
Right.
Like everybody.
Right.
And so you can take that and say, like, I don't have all the money that I want to have, and I don't have the fame that I want to have, but I can inspire at the level that I am at.
Right.
That's our
Black Excellence Spotlight. It's on Nipsey Hussle.
What was our tangle again? Black Excellence.
Black Excellence.
No, baby.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Nip.
R.P. Nip.